So here's my first one. It was fine for testing, but I was a little... I was worried about making the fit too tight, and actually I made the fit a little sloppy. So what I did was I cut some new pieces here, and they're also taller, just so I had more room for fitting to trim this down a little bit if I needed to, and exactly how I want to attach it. There wasn't a lot of room there on that, and that's fine. And I've also rearranged how I'm going to put my rollers on here. And I've kind of done it in such a way to support the load the best way I can. So when basically most of the load is going to be here coming down, but then as it moves, now these aren't put in there, they're just sitting there, but as it moves, the load is actually going to go, it's going to come down here, so I want two here to support that. Because when it slides all the way out, it's basically just going to be these four holding it all. Forgive me. Whatever. So it's going to be pushing down, and actually, there's going to be quite a lot of force going up. So I thought it's silly to put a roller right here, because all it's going to do is, as soon as this gets, because actually it's going to be, well, no, it's going to be a little bit further back there, but as soon as this thing got past there, it wouldn't be helping anymore. And by the time it gets here, it's going to be pushing up. So I figured, well, let's put it right here. So that's... So 4 supporting on the bottom, 3 supporting on top. I think that should do it. I'm hoping... I'm going to put the stop right here, so I will get... How much? Let's measure here. The whole thing is 21 inches tall, and if we're going to 15 inches, that's how much extension we can get. So that means we are here. So at 21, that's out there quite a ways. And that generator over there is about 16 inches deep, so almost 100% of it will be able to go out. I'm going to get to it. I'm going to drill these holes. I'm probably just going to use my hand drill. I had thought about using my drill press, but I don't know if you can see it back there. It's buried. And I did these with the hand drill. They did blow out on the back end here. I suppose if I put them together and put a piece of scrap behind it, it wouldn't do that, but it's fine. So, wish me luck. Alright, so here's where we're at right now. I screwed all these in, or bolted them together. I did 1 washer on top, 2 washers outside as a spacer. I may add a 3rd just to get it out there a little bit more, but I also don't want to be hitting the actual drawer. So we'll see. Yeah, here it's tough to move it when it's only one hand here, but you can see how it rolls all right. It is a very snug fit, but that's what I wanted, because I figured over time it would loosen up. So I'll keep working on the other side here, and maybe put together just a little bench test of it here, and then we'll check back in. All right, so we're out by the bus here. I've spent some time, got some spray paint, my wire brushes, air hose, sprayed this thing down. Looks like there's a bee there wanting to build a nest in here. Perfect. So I tried to clean this up, spray, cover the rust as best I could. Just clean this panel up, but as you can see, there's a big hole there. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be there or not. Anyone can let me know, but for my use case, I don't think I need it. This cover here should provide all the ventilation I need. So I'm gonna cover that up with some aluminum, just like this one is. And these rivets are rotten out. So I use some self-tapping machine screws. However, they will not self-tap into this stainless steel, which is great because that means that thing is super tough. So I had to drill my own holes. Oh yeah, so the shelf itself, it works pretty good. I don't know if it's gonna move. No, it's pretty stiff. but I think it'll loosen up with time. Fits in there good, but I'd like to cover up that other side, and I'm trying to be an adult here and do things best I can. So, oh, I was going to show you. So that hole, right? If anyone's ever converting one of these buses and you're left with the interior, here's a pro tip, okay? Especially because you're going to have lots to repair. I kept all of these. These are the panels, and this is 19.5 inches wide. It's not quite wide enough, but I'll be able to make it work. But I've got a whole bunch of these here that you can use for all kinds of stuff like this. Like I remember I even used one here. I needed to support my exhaust pipe, I guess, turbo outlet, because the turbo there's this clamp here, it kept pushing it all the way. So I just made a little bump stop, and again, self-tapping machine screws right in there. I use those a lot because I don't have a riveting machine or a riveter, but they're pretty cheap and they just work. So I'm gonna go cut this up. The nice thing about aluminum is you can cut it on a table saw, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut this there. All right, I gotta go. We're ready to do something here. So here's what I did. We've got a piece of aluminum that I've joined together with some, what did I join it together with? Some liquid nails and machine screws. So basically it clamped it all together. I did something similar, patching a hole in the roof where the previous owners put a fan vent in. Actually one like that I plan on probably putting another one in at some point, but they did something weird. They mounted the flange underneath, so it just leaked all the time. It was terrible. So I'm gonna mount this in here, get some paint on it, and then probably won't be able to do too much more today on it. We got a hockey game to go to. It's Minnesota, eh? All right, bye. Okay, I got it mounted in here. Put in this other panel. You can see my seam there because it wasn't quite big enough. Sprayed some paint around. It was dark when I was doing it, so I can do the best job. Here's how it's mounted. I have a 2x3 in there. I should probably use metal or something, but I actually think this will be fine. I mounted into the stainless steel frame. Rolls pretty good. Now, actually, it rolls really good up until when it gets here. You can see there's a little play. Actually, a lot of play. More than there should be. Trying to figure out how I get rid of that. I think I could either shim out this rail here, or I don't know. Can't really change the size of my box. Problem was drilling these holes in here to mount to the frame was not exactly an exact science. So, all right, so I tighten those back up. This would roughly be about as far as I would want to take this out, so I should build some kind of stops in there for them. But here's the test. I've actually stepped on here before, but it's kind of tricky to actually stand on here. Oop, I'm on here. Oop, and I'm off. But having all that weight So it held it fine. So that was being held by, looks like, yeah, that would have been 4 of the rollers. And then back it goes. Alright, we got the bus running because I need to air up, because that's the only way I'm going to get this high enough to be able to get the generator on here. I've got vent holes for it to output the air, or the air. Intake will basically be this, of course. I have stops in there, so can't go out. I can stand it. Let's move that. This is me standing on it on the very end. I'm about 250, so I think that's plenty. It'll hold it just fine. Yeah. So I'm gonna wheel it over here on the cart, and then we're gonna see if we can load it on there. Oh, now that hose is growling. All right, it's in position. Looks like it should fit. Now's a bad time to really be wondering. Oh, well, it does fit. It's about as snug as it can get. I need to trim this exhaust pipe just a little bit so I can fit this in there, because right now it's resting on the muffler, as you can see here. You can see that there's another support over there. It's off the ground, so I think it's easiest just to cut that off. I can trim that down a little bit more. Easy enough. Let's see. Ooh, it does move though. It's not, I'll tell you the truth, I like that it's hard to move. But if you need to get at it, you can. And it's, as you can see, it's a ways. So we can pull it out easy enough. And back. Hopefully we can do a run test here soon. Well, in the waning hours of September here, it's running, it's installed. Hopefully this video will be able to be enhanced with whatever software I have, Final Cut, whatever. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy. It runs the air conditioner. You know, I'll turn it off. Using one of my drills as a light. It's not working very well. It runs the air conditioner. Actually great. I'm running some pretty thick cable to it at the moment. So yeah, it's good to go. I'm gonna put away all my tools here. And can I brighten that up? No, I'm gonna put away all my tools and button this up for the night, and then maybe putz with it a little bit tomorrow. Got a hockey tournament here on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm thinking about bringing the bus there and tailgating a little bit with the guys. So I will continue to report back and update.